In today's video, we're going to be comparing the best SEO and digital marketing tools and software and making a tier list. Because apparently that's what the cool people do these days. What's that? So what are you doing, one, Tim? Yeah. So whether you're agency side, client side, or whatever side you might be, hopefully this set of opinions on these different tools, many of which we use daily at Exposure Ninja, will help you find the best suite of tools for your particular needs. All right, so down here we've got all of the tools that we're going to be ranking today, and we're going to rank them from Ninja, which is obviously the top level, to Sludge, which means that they're not really very good at all. And calling it sludge might sound pretty harsh given that, each of these tools represents a huge amount of people's work and collective dreams, but there you go. Okay, so first on the list we have Ahrefs. This is one of those SEO super tools. Now, every business really needs access to an SEO super tool, whether you've got your agency using it or you have it yourself. Lots of marketers love Ahrefs for its SEO functionality. And it's got great stuff around keyword research, the site auditor's awesome, it's got rank tracking, it's got link research. It can be a really useful tool. But for me, it's not the best super tool because it is only focused on SEO. So I'm gonna give Ahrefs better status. That might be a little bit controversial. Let me know in the comments if you would push it a little bit higher. Okay, next on the list is Also Asked. So if you know Answer the Public, which is a site where you go in and put a topic and you get loads of questions that people ask, Also Asked is a similar sort of thing. So it's a little bit like Answer the Public. You put in a topic and it tells you what questions people are asking. The great thing about this is you can then go and write content that ranks for those different searches. Now, Also Asked is pretty good. In fact, it's got some great functionality that Answer the Public doesn't have. You can click into a particular question and see more detail around that question. It's also super fast. Answer the Public is really slow, but it doesn't give you as many questions. So I'm gonna call Also Asked good. Okay, so what about Answer the Public? Well, Answer the Public is really slow. You put in a question or a topic and it takes ages to load, but it does give you loads and loads of information and it categorizes it really nicely. The downside of Answer the Public, the reason I'm not gonna give this Ninja grade is because a lot of the questions you have to tilt your head to read them, which isn't really ideal. So I'm going to call this better. It is a really useful tool though. It could also be even better if it gave you some idea of the search volume. So not just showing you the questions people are asking, but actually giving you an indication of how many people are asking those. You have to kind of do that as a separate stage. So I'm going to call it better, but it is definitely really good. Okay, Big Metrics. So this is a tool that gives you more insight about your Google Search Console data. Like a lot of Google tools, Search Console can be pretty intimidating and just spout stuff that you then have to go and translate and turn into insights. So the whole point of Big Metrics is that it turns this stuff into usable info and helps you pull out some lessons. So it's kind of useful for that, but none of the information is necessarily new and you don't really need it. You can find out everything that you need to know in Search Console. So I'm going to call this good. It's useful, but not necessary. All right, next up is Content King. So this is kind of a real-time SEO auditing and monitoring app. Pretty cool. They also do a fantastic job on their website, so go and check out their content marketing and how rapid their site loads as well. That's awesome. The fact that it's called Content King is slightly confusing because it's really not Content King necessarily. Now, the great thing about Content King is the alerts. If something breaks on your website and it's going to tank your ranking, you might not notice that, particularly if you're not working on your website every single day, you're not checking rankings and progress every day. You might not notice this. It can also track all of the changes that you're making across the site. Now, when we're working on a client site, we'll track all of the changes that we're making anyway, so we can see what's having an impact and when we tweak this, what happened. But if you're not doing that, then Content King is a good way of being able to go back and say, okay, well, we've just seen this increase in ranking or we've just seen this drop in ranking. What did we do around that time? So it is a pretty good tool. I'm actually going to give it better status because it is a pretty useful change tracker and alerting tool. Happy days. Okay, next up, the Google Ads Keyword Planner. So this is the tool that you use in Google Ads when you're trying to work out which keywords that you want to target in your ads, or you can use it obviously for SEO as well. It's really difficult because this is still probably the most reliable source of keyword data for ads, even though we don't always trust the search volumes that it shows, because this is data from Google itself. So you kind of have to trust it, and when you're running ads, you kind of have to use it. So I'm gonna call it good because it's got the data, but honestly, the feature where you put your website in to find the keywords is average at best. And it's one of those Google products where the interface looks like it hasn't been sent to the designers yet to design. It's just like they've coded it and just kind of left you with it. Considering this is the sort of first step of an advertising product that has changed the entire advertising market more than anything else in the history of business, it looks like garbage. So I wish they'd sort the UI out. I wish they'd make it a bit better, but it's first-party data, which you kind of have to use. So we're gonna call it good. All right, Google Alerts, really simple tool. Stick a topic in, and when someone talks about it and there's new content published, you get notified. Really simple, doesn't look great, but it's really easy to use, and it's free. I'm gonna call it better because I can't think of a better way to track this stuff. Google Analytics. Now I'm gonna split this into two. Google Analytics, Universal Analytics, which is the one that everyone is mostly familiar with, is pretty good. Yes, it's limiting. Yes, it can be confusing. But if you think Google Analytics in its current form is confusing, check out GA4. That is horrific. Now, if you get to grips with it, yes, it's powerful. Yes, there's loads of functionality, but the fact that the whole thing is so confusing, I'm worried that a significant proportion of webmasters are just going to drop out of Google Analytics altogether. They're just going to say, I cannot keep up with this. I cannot understand that stuff. So good luck, world, understanding GA4. Hopefully, someone is going to build a better virtually free version so everyone can move over to that, or more likely someone's going to figure out a nice way of explaining it, maybe us, who knows, to make it useful for people other than data scientists. But because of what they're doing with GA4, I've got to put it in all right, and it is no better than that. Sorry, GA. Okay, another Google product, Google Data Studio. So this is a way of basically collecting, visualizing, combining lots of different data sources. It's a classic Google product. It's flexible, it's powerful, it's too confusing for most people. Now, it's really useful. We use it at Exposure Ninja. We use it to create client dashboards, which combines lots of different data sources and gives people something that's useful in one go. It's powerful, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's brilliant because you could make something that is significantly better. The Google Mobile Friendliness Test. So this is a simple way of checking to see if your website is optimized for mobile first. It's painfully slow. You put your website in, it takes ages to give you a reading. It's pretty useful, even though the output is often just, yes, your website is mobile friendly, without any further data about how you can improve that. It kind of does what it says on the tin. Again, it gives the impression in its user interface that the design team is very rarely invited into any meetings inside Google because it looks like garbage. So I'm gonna say it's all right. You kind of need to use it, but it could be way better. Okay, Google Page Speed Insights. So this is a tool that you throw your website in and it gives you some data about how your site's performing speed-wise, and that's useful because this is, Google's impression of your website. This is presumably the information that Google is using to rank your site, and it also has feedback about Core Web Vitals, which is built into Google's algorithm. So we need to use this data. That's the thing, we need to use the data inside Page Speed Insights. And it used to be fairly easy for people to understand. Unfortunately, over time, they've kind of dropped any attempts to make it easy for people to understand. They've added in so much jargon that most regular people just completely switch off and use some other type of tool instead. It's actually got even worse more recently. I'm going to show you an example, because now they've decided that not only do they want data, they want to give you this type of data at the top, but they're then going to show you the same metrics below, but sometimes at a worse score. So here we're looking at exposureninja.com. First contentful paint, 1.8 seconds. Great, okay, good. Well, here's first contentful paint, 4.5 seconds. What's the difference? No context. Totally, you can see why people get so confused by this stuff. So it's useful to be able to see the data, it's important to be able to see it, but geez, I wish for the general public they would make this stuff easier to understand. So I'm gonna stick it in all right. Okay, Google Search Console. This is a really useful tool. It shows you the first party data that Google's gonna give you about how your site is performing in search. It's kind of the only way to get that data actually from Google. Yes, it could be better. Yes, it would be great if they showed you more info. Yes, it would be better if the interface was better. It would be great if they showed you all of the links, but because it is first-party data, you have to use it, and I'm going to call it Ninja. That's not good enough. I'm going to call it better. You've got to use it, but it could be even better. To get Ninja status, it has to be absolute beast. Next up, Google Trends. Okay, Google Trends shows you how different topics are trending on Google, what people are talking about. Also really useful if you're researching a new business or a new market. You can see seasonality, you can see patterns over the years, which is really, really handy. Now, I wish they give you some absolute data. They show you relative performance between different trends, but I wish they give you some absolute data. The fact that it's free, the fact that it works, you can choose by location. I'm gonna say it's good. It definitely could be better. All right, GT Metrics. GT Metrics is another speed tool. So this is a bit like Google Page Speed Insights in that you can use it to measure how fast your site is. Now, I'm gonna say it's better than Google Insights because whilst it's got loads of the confusing data and metrics that a lot of people just do not understand, it goes full in with that. And it shows you waterfall diagrams so you can see how your page is loading over time and which are the things that are holding your speed back. The fact that it's free as well is pretty good. Yes, it takes ages to load, but actually, for page speed tools, I'm gonna call it, it's going between Ninja or better. I'm gonna call it better. It could look prettier. Yeah, better. I might come back to that, not sure. Okay, HTTP status. This is a pretty useful tool. This shows you things like redirect chains. So when you type in a site, you can see where the redirects are happening. This is one of those tools that you very rarely need, but when you need it, it does exactly what you want it to do. It's pretty quick. And it's completely free. So it's a handy little thing. Do you know, for what it does, I'm gonna say it's Ninja. I don't know how you'd improve this tool. There you go, boom. For our first Ninja score, and it's a free tool, but it's one that most people won't use most of the time. Okay, Hunterio. So this is a site that allows you to find the email addresses of anyone who writes for a publication. So we use this for content marketing. If we wanna get featured in a certain publication, then we'll use it to find the email addresses of the people that write for that publication. It's pretty good. It's basically a database of journalists and writers and people in business. So it's useful for cold outreach. Now, you get 25 free searches a month, or you can pay to upgrade. It's got a pretty good database, to be honest. So I'm gonna say this is better. I don't know of a better way of doing this without kind of manually looking for the journalist or the writer and finding it through their Twitter bio. So it does save you some time. So I think it's justified in the better category. And by the way, if you're looking at this thinking, I really need some help with my digital marketing, I really want to generate more leads and sales from my website, and I don't want to have to use hundreds of difficult tools, then fear not. There is actually an easy way than all of this. You can just go to exposureninja.com and request a free website and marketing review. Just fill in a bit of info about your business. We will then use some of these tools to analyze your website, your digital marketing, and your competitors. We'll then summarize all of this into a plan that you can follow over the next 6 to 12 months to generate significantly more business through your website. This service is completely free and it's done by a human. So go to exposureninja.com and we'll use some of these tools on your website to analyze your performance against your competitors. It's an awesome service. exposureninja.com, click the button. All right, keywords everywhere. This is a Chrome plugin that you install and it shows you basically keyword data everywhere that they have it. So it shows you keyword data on Google as you're searching, shows you things like search trends, it shows you CPCs, what search traffic is like. You can use it on Amazon as well, you can use it on YouTube, all over the place. It's kind of interesting, it just helps you think in an SEO way, helps you think about how many people are searching for different terms, the related phrases that they're using, which I think is a really important and underrated skill set. If we're gonna be good SEOs, we need to get into the minds of regular people and think about how they search. So I like this as a little kind of nudge, which I leave active on my browser, even when I'm not in SEO mode, just to help me think about stuff. So the fact that it just runs in the background, I'm gonna call it better. The pricing is a little bit confusing. You buy these credits and all that stuff, which is a bit odd. So I'm gonna call it better. What's next? Little Warden. So Little Warden plays in the same sort of ballpark as Content King. It's a bit of a status app. It allows you to make sure that your SEO is not jumped off a cliff because someone's no-indexed your homepage. So it's pretty useful. We use it at Exposure Ninja. It's actually mostly targeted towards agencies. and it tends to be a bit more expensive than, say, Content King, so I'm going to call it good, but we use it day in, day out. Exposure Ninja, really useful to get a little Slack notification if someone's website is misbehaving. Next up, Majestic. Majestic is a database of links and authority. If you need to get really into backlink profiles, competitor backlink profiles, backlink research, Majestic is a fantastic tool. It's got a decent sized database, and it was always considered the kind of gold standard of link research. It's got its own metrics, trust flow and citation flow, which are kind of industry standard. So it's in most SEO agencies' toolkits because they need that TF and CF, and you can only get those from Majestic. But links are only one aspect of SEO, and to be honest, with the rise of super tools like SEMRush, Ahrefs, you kind of get that functionality in those super tools, but you get a whole bunch more as well. So for many people, Majestic has kind of been left behind. If you get Majestic, you're still going to need at least one more SEO super tool anyway. So whilst it's good, I can't give it any better than that because it is so limited. Sorry, Majestic. I've had Dixon on the show. Fantastic person, but yeah, sorry, Majestic is only in the good category. In a similar sort of trajectory, Moz. So Moz has their own proprietary metric, DA, domain authority, the most misunderstood metric in the entire world. Fact. So thank you for that, Moz. Moz was one of the kind of pioneers in this area, but I feel like its SEO suite has seriously been left behind by some of the other players here. So I'm going to say that Moz is, it's another one of those. You have to have it in your toolbox if you want to know DA. You can only get that from Site Explorer, but I'm going to say that Moz is all right and no better than all right. That might be contentious. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. Okay, Penguin tool. This is a tool developed by an agency. Basically allows you to plug in your Google Analytics, and it will show you where Google algorithm updates have happened in your timeline, so you can work out, we had an update here and our site traffic just bombed or exploded. So it kind of allows you to align what's going on in your site with Google updates. It's useful. Obviously, there's way more to SEO than that, and you can get all the information about different timelines and stuff and updates from loads of places anywhere. So I'm going to say it's all right. It's fun to play with, but you definitely won't find yourself using it on a regular basis. Might be a bit harsh, but I'm going to put it in all right. We still don't have any sludges, do we? I feel like some of these Google products could be on the edge of sludge. Maybe the mobile friendliness test. Yeah, go on. Stick it in there. Moving on, RankMath. This is a WordPress SEO plugin. The two most popular WordPress SEO plugins that we see are RankMath and Yoast. RankMath is pretty good. It's got loads of stuff like rank tracking, which you can get. So basically, the deal with WordPress SEO plugins, they all basically cover an essential set of functions. So they allow you to do page titles and metas. They do sitemaps, so you can submit to Google through them often as well, which is cool. And then they try and add in other stuff. So whether this is scoring, whether it's giving you tips for content optimization, or in RankMath's case, it gives you kind of loads of extra stuff. That's all okay, but most of it, there are better ways of getting that insight. The fact that it's in a plugin makes it easy for people to use, but that also kind of limits it. Now, I'm going to say that RankMath is better. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a decent option for a WordPress SEO plugin. All right, Screaming Frog. Screaming Frog is a little piece of software. You download it on your computer, super old school, and you can put a website in and it shows you, it gives you an overview of how that website is set up for SEO. So it shows you all the page titles, the metas, like word counts, character counts, stuff like that. It's really good. It's really good. You can pay for it, but it's free unless you go past the limits. It does look seriously old school. It's got strong Napster vibes to it for people who are really old. But despite looking like Napster or LimeWire, I'm going to say it's Ninja. It's really useful. We use it on a daily basis at Exposure Ninja. High five, Screaming Frog. SE Ranking. SE Ranking is a kind of challenger super tool. So trying to steal a bit from Ahrefs and SEMRush. Pretty good tool. We use it a lot at Exposure Ninja. We use it to track our clients' rankings and track keyword visibility and stuff like that. Great for competitor research. I'm going to call SE Ranking better. Some of the data isn't as accurate as SEMRush, but on the whole, it's a pretty decent thing. So SimilarWeb was one of those sites that you put your website, your competitor sites in, and it gives you all sorts of data about how much traffic they're getting. Most of it, total rubbish, particularly for smaller sites, totally unreliable, a cause of all sorts of anxiety. I'm gonna put it in sludge because it's really mostly useless. Mostly it's useless. And it's more often misused than used valuably. So sorry, SimilarWeb. Got Sitebulb. Okay, right. This is a website auditing tool. It's fine. I'm going to put it in good. What's this one? This is Surfer SEO. All right, Surfer allows you to kind of use AI to work out what you need to put in your content in order to get it ranking. We use it at Exposure Ninja. It's pretty handy. AI is never going to do your ranking for you. People will get this thinking it's going to make me rank or anything. You're still gonna have to put the work in, but it does shortcut some of the process and some of the research for you. So I'm gonna call it good. All right, TubeBuddy. This is a YouTube SEO research thing. If you're trying to rank on YouTube, can be useful to get some ideas. A lot of this functionality, to be honest, is handled by keywords everywhere, but TubeBuddy is still pretty decent. So I'm gonna call it, yeah, I'm gonna call it good, fine. All right, Ubersuggest, entry-level SEO super tool. It's a free one. It's basically lead gen for Neil Patel's digital agency. It's decent considering it's free. So I'm gonna say good. Yeah, I'm gonna say good for Ubersuggest. Yoast SEO Plugin. So this is a pretty decent one on WordPress. It gives you your titles, your descriptions. The thing that annoys me about Yoast SEO Plugin, right, is it gives you these ranking scores or these optimization scores, and it's based on really basic stuff like have you used your keyword in the first line of your copy and what's your keyword, all of this stuff which is so basic and entry level, but people get obsessed with getting all the green scores. You can have a really well optimized page, but it might not be scoring green on Yoast, and people get confused. They think that they're trying to satisfy Yoast rather than trying to satisfy Google and users. So for me, it adds this layer of confusion. Having said that, it's simple, it's lightweight, it works. As long as you don't get distracted by the pretty little traffic light colors, then it's fine. So I'm gonna call it better, but with a caveat that I wish they'd get rid of these red, orange, greens, because I think they do more harm than good. Last one that we're gonna rank then, SEMRush. SEMRush for me is my favorite tool. There's a restaurant near where I live here in Cobham, and it's called the Juice Smith, and they make this amazing vegan food. But it's not, not like vegan like everyone's wearing bare feet and hasn't washed their hair. This is just really healthy, delicious, amazing food, and they don't bang on about it either. And it's amazing. And if I was ever going to be in prison, as long as Juice Smith were doing the catering, I'd be totally fine with that. So where's this going, Tim? Well, if I was ever in SEO tool prison and I could only ever use one tool to run any digital marketing campaign, I would make it SEMRush. You can do SEO analysis, you can do your links, you can do PPC, you can even now do social media, you can get brand mentions, you can get flagged brand mentions as well. I think SEMRush is the best of the SEO super tools, and in fact a digital marketing super tool because it's got all the paid stuff in there as well. So I'm gonna say that SEMRush is ninja. Also in the studies that we've seen, it's got a bigger link database than Ahrefs as well. Now some go the other way, but yeah, I think it's ninja. You can get free trials of some of these. So you can get a free trial of SE ranking at bestninjatool.com. You can get a free trial of SEMRush at thankyouninjas.com. Both of those are exclusive, so you can't just go onto SEMRush and get a free trial. You have to use thankyouninjas.com. So there's a summary of our best digital marketing and SEO tools. Now we've also done a shootout comparing the data for some of these tools, and you can watch that here. What we do is we compare the measured data through Google Analytics, the actual data for our clients, against some of the data showing in these tools to see which is the most accurate. So it's a bit of a shootout to see which tool has the best data. So you can watch that here. It's really interesting, and I was really surprised at some of the results. Until next time, see you soon.